There has been a communication received from Councilor Napolitano that he's unable to attend due to a work commitment.
Right, the first piece of business is a resolution offered by Councilor Simonelli that the mayor or his designee appear at this meeting to update on the improvements on Air Force Road.
I think we all are aware that the improvements have been made. Unless my colleagues have any questions, I think we should just refer the piece back to sponsor or recommend so. I don't believe so. Is there a communication from Councilor Simonelli? I know the work's been done, as you know, you've seen it. Councilor McLaughlin.
Mr. Chairman, just to bring it up to a little bit of speed, I guess, if we will, but they have, as the Chairman said, made a lot of great improvements down there by opening up the width of the bike path extension to make it a much easier accessibility of passing 2 lanes of traffic, and it's made a big difference in that neighborhood. And I know all my colleagues here have worked with the Wind Group to make sure that that happened prior to that parking lot being approved on Wind site. So I agree with the Chairman that we refer this piece back to sponsor because we've seen the improvements happen firsthand this summer. Make a motion that we take item number 1 and refer it back to, we'll refer it to the council meeting on Monday night.
Councilor Hanlon?
We, you know, this has been going on for a long, long time. This started with years ago, anyway. But anyhow, if it's done, I do not have a report on this. Do any of us have a report? That, you know, we saw the completed act, whatever's done?
Just from what I've seen with my own eyes.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay. The clerk said that there's an item on our agenda for Monday evening.
Like a completed version of what? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's good then.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
So do you second
So I'll
Councilor
second that,
McLaughlin's
yep,
motion?
second.
Motion made and seconded to refer the meeting to the next council meeting with the recommendation that it gets referred back to sponsor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, if we could take items number 2 and 4 collectively and refer them to the October meeting. I received communication, I'm not sure if it's there, but the Wind representatives were not able to make it this evening to the meeting. So we'd collectively take items 2 and 4 and refer them to October's meeting, please.
Yeah, I'll second the motion to refer those back to our next meeting, second meeting.
So moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Items 2 through 4 have been postponed to the October meeting.
Right, item number 3. This is a resolution offered by Councilor McLaughlin that a representative for the Traffic Commission appear at this meeting to discuss the renewal process for the handicap signs.
Councilor McLaughlin?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, since this piece went on to the calendar before summer recess, I have had the opportunity to work with Sergeant Gaff, and I'm sure both of my colleagues would know sometimes when a handicap spot goes up, it's for an individual. They may pass away, they may move, whatever the case is, and that spot is no longer needed on that street. Parking is very valuable in our community as it is, and if we can eliminate a handicap spot because that person has moved on in some fashion, it opens up another spot for the neighborhood. So I've worked with Sergeant Gaff this summer on being able to eliminate a few of those. I've actually just submitted another 4 locations today to Sergeant Gaff that he is going to work on, and I'm sure if you guys have any locations that you know of, I think there's quite a few. I think there's like 280 spots across the city of Everett total for handicap, and I'm sure quite a bit of those are probably no longer needed in different neighborhoods throughout the city. So Sergeant Gaff has been really helpful in being able to eliminate those spots and get those poles taken down to make them more accessible parking spots again for neighborhoods. So I'd refer this piece back to Monday night's council meeting so I can refer it back to sponsor. But I would just encourage you guys, if you know of any locations throughout the city that Sergeant Gaff has been successful at getting them removed, and to the people at home, they can contact any 3 of us that they might have one on their street that they know for sure is no longer needed. They can call any of us and we can help coordinate having that removed. So at this time, take item number 3 and refer it to our council meeting on Monday night for back to sponsor.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to refer the piece to Monday's meeting with the intent to refer back to sponsor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Item number 5. This is a resolution by Councilor DePiero and DeFlorio requesting input from the administration at this meeting on the idea of online water usage and account management.
Come right on up, folks. Councilor DeFlorio is also here as a co-sponsor. Feel free to join us.
Could we invite her in, Mr. Chairman? We can
You
invite her in,
certainly
right?
can.
I'd like to invite her in.
All right, you are invited.
Make a motion with Councilor DeFlorio.
Thank you, sir. How you doing? Good.
You could all just introduce yourselves for the people at home.
Good evening, Eric Demas, CFO.
Ernie Lurvia, Water Superintendent.
City Council Rosa DeFlorio, Ward 5.
If you have some questions, I'd
I
open
do.
it to you, Councilor DeFlorio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In regards to, we had put this, I believe we had put this on along with the sponsor because from what I understand, there's a program that's going to be into effect, and I'd like to have you explain it. And what this program is going to do is you can go online and you can see the water usage. So if you're a landlord that doesn't live in the city, or you might live in the city in a different home, you're able to go online and see the usage of the water. And if you see the usage going up, now you know that there's people moving in, there's extra people moving in, so I think this is a great program that we're going to put into effect, and I'd like to have, if the board indulges me, I would like to have these two gentlemen explain it.
Please do so.
Certainly, and thank you. We're actually very excited about this project. We're near completion of full implementation. We actually had a meeting today, and we're hoping within the next 60 days we can have it fully implemented. Once we have it implemented and we're certain that the data is correct, the addresses are correct, we'll be rolling out the program, and we'll be providing a number of significant information through water bills and other various forms of communication to notify the residents. I actually put together a very brief summary of this program for you, and with the handouts, but if I could direct you to page 4 to show you some of the benefits. As Councilor DeFlorio indicated, there's a lot of information that is provided through this program, which I want to lead off, is 100% free to the residents, and that goes for landlords, tenants, however the property owners want to set this information up. Basically what this is, it's a mobile computer app that is accessible through either your home computer, your iPad, or your smartphone. And it's specific to your individual house. And some of the things that it does, it provides a customer portal. So it provides you with all of your usage that you've had moving forward once we implement it. So you can see, it allows the customer to see for themselves what their water usage is, how it compares to the average water usage. It also allows you to set up alerts. So for instance, one of the issues that we constantly hear is leaky toilets. Believe it or not, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but when that toilet is running, that is constant water use, and it can have a significant impact on your usage, which translates into your water bill. That's actually one of the reasons why we had switched to monthly billing for residents, so that they weren't on a 4-month lag, that they were only on maybe a 45-day lag, because there's a difference between when you go through the 30 days, we generate the bills, and then you issue the bills. What this is going to allow you to do is that this program is going to send you alerts, if you would like, to tell you that there are spikes in your usage, and it will allow the residents to contact the water department much quicker to say, hey, my usage is up, can you come help us out? Can you tell us what's going on? Another benefit is for landlords. If you have an individual, a property owner that owns multiple properties, underneath one single login, they can register all of those accounts to let them know that, and allows the landlords to monitor the water usage to ensure that whatever is happening on their property, they're going to be notified for. One of the other things that this will actually help landlords with is not just if there's a water leak or a running toilet, but if all of the system is working correctly, it's going to notify them that there potentially may be individuals, additional individuals living in that property that they were unaware of. So we see that as a significant benefit. In addition to that, it also, the program is also going to allow it's going to share tips with individuals as to how to save water and how to take more control over the water that you're actually using. So we're very excited about this. Again, it's going to be no cost to sign up. It's going to be a free sign up. We'll be rolling it out in every form of media that we can to make sure everybody is going to be aware of it, so that those that choose to partake in this and want to embrace this free service, we're going to try to get it out to absolutely everybody to ensure that people that want it can sign up as quickly as they can.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that. Like you said, it'll allow landlords to be more proactive instead of reactive through abatement processes and whatnot, and catch it before it's a major issue. I have Councilor Hanlon has a question.
Oh, yes, all set? All done?
Sure.
Thank you. I get complaints about water systems, the water uses and everything, and the complaints I get them from are not what you would call your average landlord. I get them from the old people, and they think that I'm one of the crowd, and I tell them I'm not, you know. But, print, email, voice, and text, they won't understand any of that. So how do we go about helping them, and how will we go about training everybody in the city on how to use this system? Thank you. It's a good idea, you know, and it's nice and everything, but it's how to use this system that these people just aren't going to know. All they're complaining to me about is that, how come I get my water bill once a month now? And they don't know what it's about. All they know is that they're paying more money. They're not really, but they think they're paying more money. So if that's where they're thinking, how are they going to understand this system?
Sure.
So is there some sort of a, not a pamphlet, a book that we can send out to the homeowner, how to use this system, and show them that you as the landlord can do this, or you as a tenant can do this, something like that? I know that'll cost a couple of dollars to send that out, but these people are not going to understand it, you know, and I know that we counselors are going to get the brunt of these phone calls. They're not going to call you, you know?
Well, you'd be surprised.
No, I know you
I
get
get
lots of
calls
calls,
every
yeah.
day,
You know.
even about leaky toilets. It's constant with the water bills. What I can tell you is we're nearing the final stages of implementing this, and the software vendor who owns the software that we're working with, they've rolled this out in many communities across the entire country. So they have a number of training avenues that they're going to be sharing with us and assisting with us to roll this out. So we're going to be doing absolutely everything we can. I know it's going to be a process to get everybody up to speed. And let's face it, there are going to be individuals that, whether it be technology constraints or what have you, just may not be interested in this. But again, it's voluntary. It's something, it's just another step, another level of service that we can provide the residents.
And I know you said there's no cost for the customer, but what's the cost of this system to the city?
The implementation was because one of the things that we had a concern with was on training and making sure that we had assistance with the marketing. They've done this before. I believe the first year cost is around $15,000, and then it goes to approximately about $5,000 a year.
What?
$5,000 a year for their service.
And that covers everything?
Everything.
Okay, so,
It was all the upfront work. One of the most significant challenges with technology, especially with the website that we're working on, is getting all of these third-party administrators to talk to each other, and making sure that, we have the electronic reads, so we had to deal with that company to make sure that that data got in. Then we had to deal with our billing company, Kelly and Ryan, to make sure that they were agreeing. Then we had to get our accounting software, SoftWrite, Acela, to get them to communicate. That's why there was a much larger, significant upfront cost. It's getting all of these different data forms to be able to communicate together seamlessly, and we're near completion with that.
all right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Councilor McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just a couple of quick questions. One was answered by Councilor Hanlon. Eric, the numbers on houses, you said, so they're registered to the numbers on houses. If we have attended Board of Appeals meetings in the past, we know that sometimes the number on the house isn't actually the number of the dwelling. We've had some corner lots that have been confused. You know that issue, Eric, that I'm
I do.
talking about, right? So are we, where do we stand on making sure that that is, so that it's apples to apples, that everything is correspondent? Because you're gonna have an abundance of people that are gonna say, well, my house is 548 Broadway, but it's really 10 Timothy Ave, you know, just example.
So we completely understand, and where we are with that is that it's going to be tied directly to the addresses that are in the billing system.
Okay.
So if you're getting a water bill, you're going to be getting access to this information.
Okay.
The issue that you're referring to is a difference between very, very old records in the
Exactly.
assessing office and updated information that we have in other billing systems in our GIS. Since I've been here, those have been significantly reduced down to the point, the number of those issues, and they're down to the point where, you know, if you have somebody that's been living in a home for 50 years and they're used to their address and their number, you're not going to actually go through and force them to change everything. So what we're doing is we've identified those parcels where there has been inconsistencies, and as those parcels are being sold or there's any type of real estate transaction, we're updating that information, and that's how we're addressing that issue. But the key is right now, there's no public safety issue. Police, fire are aware.
no, absolutely.
City Hall is aware, so.
I just don't want you guys to get inundated with the number of people that are saying, well, wait a minute, my meter is registered to 10 Timothy Ave, but it's really 548 Broadway, and they tried to play on words to, you know, sometimes you've seen that down at the ZBA. So that's,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to make sure that that was, you know, somewhat being watched. because
We've had that 100% covered.
We've had that
Yep.
come up. in
And
the
as we do
past.
have those real estate transactions where somebody may move or sell their house, again, we have them identified, and they're immediately being updated in all of our systems.
Okay,
So
great.
it's an issue that was a significant issue probably 5-10 years ago, but we have a very strong handle on it, and it's one that's going to resolve itself over time.
No, and that's great. I just remember recent, you know, not recent, but in the past 2 years, there've been some issues down at ZBA on different residential parcels that had come to the meetings. And the cost was the other question. And who, the city will incur the $15,000 cost one time, 5,000 annually?
Yes.
To run this service? Great. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Councilor DeFlorio.
Our sponsors and let them know that what's going on here, but also to the administration, we should ask them to supply us with whatever instructions they're going to be sending out to the public so that we will see them before the public actually sees them.
And I'm sure we can probably assist in some way by
That's
dispersing
right,
such
yeah.
information as well.
You know, we'll get a phone call.
Yeah, of course.
What is this?
Of course.
Okay.
So the motion was made.
Yeah.
Refer it back, yeah. Yeah.
Make a motion that we refer this out Monday night to refer back to sponsor.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to refer to Monday night's meeting with the intent to refer back to sponsors. All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Item number 6 is the resolution out by Council McLaughlin that Police Chief Macy appeared at this meeting to discuss the recent arrest of gang members.
Councilor McLaughlin?
Thanks, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I don't see anybody from the police department here. I'm going to ask that we lay this over for 1 month. You know, again, yesterday we had a great success of a bust. Our drug force did a great job yesterday breaking up 2 houses in Ward 6 that were significant dealer in drugs. And we continuously hear of this good work. And I'm just wondering how many of these individuals, if we're even able to tie them back to a gang. You hear a million things out there about how many gangs are in the city. Just wondering if there's data or information that can be tied back to show that there is gang activity, or these are just individual people that are doing this type of behavior. So refer this to the October meeting. If Chief Mazie wants to send me an email on this, that'd be okay as well. I'm just wondering
I think
if,
part of the issue might be some of the individuals involved may be juveniles, so
Okay.
that might be an issue. So, if you guys want to touch base
Yep.
outside of a public meeting, that might be helpful. But
So-
we can still push it to October, and
and
in
then
the
we'll
meantime,
we'll resolve it in October, and we'll get it out of here in October. One way or another, we'll end it in October. So make a motion that we lay this on the table till the October meeting. I'll talk with Chief Mazie. Council Piero is right there. It may be some conflicts with the individuals, and I will just hopefully have that conversation with them. Thank you.
Councilor Hanlon, anything?
Second.
Second? Okay. Motion made and seconded to refer this to the October meeting.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. It was our clerk saying,
The chief will actually be here Monday, so you want to have a discussion with them, but we'll leave it on the agenda.
and
If you
I'm
wanna
okay
grab
with
them
pushing
prior
it
to
out
the meeting or
till Monday night
whatever.
if we want to. I just know we have a very heavy agenda on Monday night's meeting, so I don't know if we'll have
No,
time.
I'm not talking about having a discussion with him, I said he will be here then. So
You'll have the
I get you. I'm
opportunity
sorry. I
to
apologize.
speak privately with
Absolutely,
him.
I apologize. Thank you. I apologize.
All right, so that motion was made and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman?
Motion made and seconded for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.